Let me ask you something. If your car broke down tomorrow, completely out of nowhere, and the mechanic handed you a $1,000 bill, could you pay it? Right now. Without using a credit card. Without calling your mom. Because here's what the data shows. 37% of Americans could not cover that emergency from their savings. And 63% of Americans who simply don't have $1,000 saved. So today, we're breaking down the real savings picture in America. Let's get into it. Let's start with the headline numbers. If you search average American savings, you'll see around $62,000. At first, that sounds okay, but that number is misleading. The average is $62,410, but the median, the true middle, is just $8,000. Why the gap? Outliers. Imagine 5 people. 4 have $5,000. 1 has $5 million. The average shoots way up, but it doesn't reflect reality for most. That's exactly what's happening across the country. A small number of wealthy households pull the average higher, making things look better than they really are. So the real number to focus on is $8,000. And even that isn't as safe as it sounds. The average household spends about $6,081 per month. So $8,000 covers just over 1 month of expenses, not 3 to 6 months, 1 month and 1 week. That is the reality. Now let's talk about emergency savings. Experts recommend saving 3 to 6 months of expenses, but only 46% of Americans can cover 3 months. That means more than half the country is one emergency away from financial trouble. And it gets worse. 24% of Americans have 0 emergency savings. Nothing. 1 in 4 people. That's your neighbor, your coworker, maybe even you. Nearly 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Money comes in and goes out almost immediately. Rent, bills, food, transportation. There's no buffer, no margin for error. So when something unexpected happens, it goes on a credit card. And 29% of Americans have more credit card debt than savings. That's a dangerous position. Let's break it down by age. Under 35, around $20,540 on average. But this is heavily skewed. Many are dealing with student debt and early careers. Ages 35 to 44, about $41,540. Higher income, but also higher expenses. Ages 45 to 54, around $71,130. Peak earning years and peak spending years. Ages 55 to 64, around $72,520. Critical years before retirement. Ages 65 to 74, around $100,250. But this is when savings start being used. One key trend: younger generations are starting earlier. Gen Z starts saving around age 24. Older generations started closer to 37. That time difference could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Now let's talk about income. Higher income strongly connects to higher savings. Top earners have around $111,600 saved. Lower income households, around $900. That gap is huge. There are also long-term structural differences that affect savings across communities. This is why simple advice like cutting small expenses doesn't work for everyone. For many people, the problem isn't discipline, it's math. Now let's talk about behavior. On average, Americans save about 23% of their income, but the median is closer to 15%, and 10% don't save at all. Where do people keep their money? Many use standard savings accounts. Many keep money in checking, which is easy to spend. Some invest, Some use retirement accounts, some use high-yield savings accounts. But that last number should be higher. Standard accounts earn around 0.4%. High-yield accounts can earn 4% or more. That's a big difference for the same money. Only 38% of people automate their savings. But automation works. It removes decision-making and helps build consistency. Also, 27% of people use their emergency fund for non-emergencies. That weakens the safety net. And 67% of Americans don't believe they'll ever feel financially secure. That's not laziness, that's discouragement. Where you live also matters. Some regions have much higher savings levels. Others are far lower. This reflects cost of living, income levels, and access to financial systems. In fact, some households don't even have bank accounts. That creates an additional barrier to saving. Now let's focus on solutions. Step 1. Know your number. Calculate 3 months of expenses. Step 2. Use a high-yield savings account. Earn more on money you already have. Step 3. Automate savings. Set transfers on payday. Step 4. Start investing after your emergency fund is ready. Long-term investing builds real wealth. Step 5. Track your savings rate. A simple guide is 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. Even small improvements matter. Here's the bottom line. The median American has about $8,000 saved. 1 in 4 has nothing. Many are one emergency away from financial stress. But this is not your destiny. These are just statistics. Financial security comes from consistency, not perfection. Start today. 1 account, 1 automatic transfer, 1 honest look at your expenses. If this helped you, like the video and subscribe for more. And tell me, could you cover a $1,000 emergency right now? I'll see you in the next one.